Now, sticking with this question, I'm going to talk you through how I might structure a paragraph. You're old enough now to adapt it to your own style. So I'm not going to make you do this, this and this, but you might benefit from seeing some things that I do, and there's certainly a couple of things that I really want you to try to do. So here we go. Now, one of the things that I definitely want you to do is to make sure that in the first sentence of any paragraph you write, the point that you are making is explicitly clear. So here you can quite clearly see I'm answering the question, and it's very obvious what my point is, because the first sentence of my paragraph is my point, that I think that one reason tension increased was because Hitler had finally been exposed as untrustworthy. Now, this next section is the middle of my paragraph, and this is where I really develop my point. I go into the background and I expand on what I'm saying. Here I'm showing that I know my stuff. So we've made a point, and now we've expanded upon it. At the end of my paragraph, what I've done is, in essence, a mini conclusion to the paragraph. I bring it back to the question. It's a bit like a sandwich, because I've picked out these key words, international and particularly tension. So I make sure the examiner knows that I'm answering the question by including tension in my point, the main point that I'm making. And then, at the end of the paragraph, I also make sure that I've mentioned the word tension and international. I bring it back. So I make a point, I develop and explain it, and then I summarise it, all the while linking everything directly to the question. If you want an idea of how I would start my next paragraph, it would be something along the lines of, another reason why tension increased was because the British and French guaranteed Polish independence. Full stop. That would be my point. I would then perhaps begin my development, my explanation. This can be directly linked to the fact that Hitler had been exposed as untrustworthy, because now that Chamberlain had abandoned the policy of appeasement, the British looked to ways to stop Germany and their aggressive policies in Europe. And by guaranteeing Polish independence, Britain and France hoped they would prevent Hitler dragging Europe into another world war. But as Hitler was unconcerned with what the British and French had done, and didn't really think that they would stand up to him, it significantly increased the tension in Europe. That'd be the sort of thing I'd write about in my next paragraph. But perhaps you can use the paragraph here as a basis for writing some paragraphs of your own.